Right, let's get straight to it. The world is watching, markets are reeling, and your wallet could be the next casualty. Oil prices have just exploded, excuse the pun, up more than 10% overnight after Israel launched a major strike on Iran's nuclear military sites. This isn't just another headline. No. This is the kind of global shock that hits every single one of us, you, me, your mum, your dad, your friends, from the petrol pump to the price of your weekly shop. Hello, I'm Ben Leo, and this is GB News Originals. Please go and hit that subscribe button below. Well, let's not sugarcoat it. When the oil prices surge, it's not just big business that feels the heat. It's you and it's me. It's every family in Britain and all around the world. Because when oil goes up, the cost of making, moving, and selling just about everything goes up too. And who pays in the end? The ordinary consumer, of course. Well, here's what's got everyone rattled. Israel confirmed a major military strike on Iranian targets, and in response, benchmark oil contracts absolutely rocketed by more than 10%. That's not a blip, that's a shockwave, and it's already hammering the markets. Dow futures down 600 points. The S&P 500 down 100. Nasdaq down 400. And it's not just the US either. The FTSE 100 in London is set to drop by 0.5%, with European markets bracing for an even bigger plunge. Shell and BP, two of the UK's oil giants, are now suddenly looking like the winners here, quids in, but for everyone else, it's a different story. Well, let's break it down, shall we? Oil isn't just about filling up your car. It's the backbone of production, transport, and energy too. So when oil prices spike, the cost of manufacturing goes up, shipping and logistics get pricier, energy bills start to climb, and guess what? All of those extra costs get passed down the line straight to you, the consumer. Do you remember the pain of inflation after Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022? How could you forget? Well, this could be déjà vu all over again, because analysts are already warning we're staring down the barrel of another inflationary surge. Katrina L. from Moody's Analytics put it bluntly, this is happening at the worst possible time, with global uncertainty already sky high and America slapping tariffs left, right, and centre. Now here's where things get a little bit trickier. If inflation does take off again, central banks might have to slam the brakes on the economy by raising interest rates. The Bank of England just cut the base rate to 4.25%, trying to give us all a bit of breathing room. But if prices keep rising, that relief could completely vanish fast. And over in the US, stateside, the Federal Reserve is holding off on rate cuts, thanks to those Trump-era tariffs. And now this oil shock. If inflation expectations start to spiral, Fed Chair Jerome Powell, a character in his own right, and his team will have no choice but to act. And that means hiking borrowing costs for everyone. Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cybercriminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today. Well, let's talk the winners and the losers. Oil companies such as Shell and BP, well, their share prices are set to soar as crude oil gets more expensive. But the rest of the market, well, not so much. The FTSE 100 is down, but not as much as Europe, because France's CAC 40 and Germany's DAX are both expected to open more than 1% lower. This is classic market behaviour when a geopolitical crisis erupts. Investors run for cover, and only the oil giants are left smiling. And this couldn't have come at a worst possible time, because the global economy is already wobbling from post-pandemic shocks, trade wars and political upheaval. Now though, with the Middle East heating up, the risk is clear. If this conflict drags on, oil-importing countries such as the UK could face a toxic mix of slower growth and rising prices. Well, let's hear now, shall we, from the analysts. Katrina L. from Moody's has said, it comes really at an unfortunate time for the global economy, given the already heightened uncertainty and chaotic nature we're dealing with out of the US protectionist stance. Bloomberg economics analysts are warning that the Federal Reserve will be under serious pressure to act if inflation starts to take off again. Well, their message? This isn't something central banks can just ignore, hinting at rate hikes. So what does all this mean for you, sitting at home trying to make sense of it all? Here's the reality. Petrol prices, up. Food and goods, likely to get more expensive. Mortgage rates, the big one? Well, they could start creeping up again if central banks are forced to hike rates. And this is the chain reaction that starts with a missile strike thousands of miles away and ends up hitting your bank balance. And let's not forget the politics either, shall we? Because President Donald Trump in the US is back in the headlines, warning of a chance of a massive conflict between Iran and Israel. His protectionist policies, tariffs on trading partners, have already put pressure on prices, and now this oil shock is pouring fuel on the fire. Here's what to watch though. Will the conflict between Israel and Iran escalate further? How will OPEC and other oil-producing nations respond? And will central banks such as the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, will they step in to calm the markets, or will they be forced once again to hike interest rates? The answers to these questions will shape the global economy for months and maybe even years to come. For me, it's another COVID-style emergency. And look, nobody likes bad news, but it's better to be prepared than be caught off guard. This is a fast-moving story, and it's not just about geopolitics. It's about your money, your job, and your future. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve, keep it locked right here on GB News. We'll break down what matters, cut through the noise, and tell you what you need to know. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. This is Ben Leo. Thank you for watching.
So although Israel is a very, very close ally, I think it will be very interesting to see internationally what the response is. Worth saying too, there will be an immediate bad effect for us, economically speaking. Oil prices are already up 10%. That's the largest jump since Russia invaded Ukraine. So this has a potential to make things much, much more expensive for us at home.
OK, Catherine, thank you.